Hello my friends, welcome to Deadly Departed, to another episode. This is not part 2 of the last week's episode. This is actually a new subject matter that is come in actually recently when I was emailed a question and asked how to become a medium and how to become a medium really quickly, because I think I have the gift of mediumship and I want to develop it and use it. And so we're going to talk about that when we come right back. The pitfalls, how to do it, and really what everybody wants to know: how do I become a medium in the shortest possible time? When we come right back, we're going to get right into it. God bless, guys. Okay, guys, welcome back. So, as promised, I'm going to jump into this question: how do I become a medium in the shortest possible time, and why this has actually come up. I've actually lost count probably of the number of times where I've been messaged and people have asked me a similar question. I need some guidance. I have a bit of intuition. I experienced this, or what was the recent one? I went into an old house and I felt the presence of someone, so I must be a medium. So how can I develop my mediumship, and how can and 9 times out of 10 when I ask them the question, why do you want to develop, I very rarely get the response that I'm looking for. A lot of people will say they want to be service to humanity, and that's all very well and good. But in reality, people have another agenda attached to it, and normally it's to make a living, which is nothing wrong with that, they want to do it really quickly because they know that they can charge in mediumship, and there's a little bit of egocentric thing going on there where they feel it's a really cool thing to do. And they want to do it in the shortest possible time. It's almost like, like Nescafe Gold Blend or an instant coffee, a tea bag, put it in, boom, you've got a cup of tea. But the reality is very different, ladies and gentlemen, because for those of my colleagues whom I respect over a long period of time, mediumship is a vocation. It's not something that you just pick up on a course. And if you're looking to become a medium in the shortest possible time, then this video is not for you. You're actually probably going to jump off of this video and you're not going to be happy with what I have to say, because it's a never-ending development. You're constantly always developing. And a lot of people that become mediums never really ask for it. It's something that is naturally within them, and it's something that they develop. Now, we all have a capacity for spiritual gifts, every single person in the world. But the reality is that some people are able to, play a symphony on a piano, or they have a great singing voice. And whilst you can sit there and learn to play a tune, it doesn't matter that just because you can do that doesn't mean that you're going to be able to actually play Bach's or Beethoven or Mendelssohn or one of them, because it takes those people, it's taken many, many years of development to hone that craft and to understand it, and how the music is played, and how the tones work with each other, and how the vibration of the music actually works together. They don't just go on a course and hey presto, they can play the violin, or they can play something on the piano, something absolutely amazing. So if you're really looking to just jump in and become a medium because you think you've got a little bit of gifts, then you're heading down the wrong path. It's not for you. The other thing that I want to kind of cover in that respect is that whilst you can learn so much theory from videos and theory from going on courses and things, ultimately your development is the most important, which will be a continual progression. Just like I said, of that person who's training to the piano, who's learning every single aspect of it, then you're going to do that. And you're going to develop your spiritual self even more, and things are going to change. Relationships are going to fall away. Friendships are going to fall away when you take up this path. It is not an easy path to do. And when people, come and ask me, 99% of the time, I can see that they're more interested in what they can earn rather than their service to spirit or their service to humanity. And that's quite sad, actually. But There are those that do have a natural ability, or they do have I would say, a destiny, and it's their destiny to serve in that way. And so nothing in the world is going to stop them. That's part of their destiny. But a lot of people will fall into it and will go on courses and learn things and get some things right, and hey presto, they actually think that they're a medium, and that's it. They've done a couple of courses, boom, that's the fastest progression to mediumship. But the reality, again, I can take anybody on a course or take anybody on training, and I can teach them to connect with the spirit world, but it doesn't make them a medium. Here's one of the other important aspects of it. There's in my book Deadly Departed, I talk about the responsibility of mediumship, and the responsibility is huge, because what you say to a client, how you come across to a person who is grieving, is more important than even how accurate the message actually is. And you also have to remember that one person's evidence is another man's failure, another person's failure. And so you can come across in something that is natural to you may actually hurt them. And it can be very simple in a nonchalant statement, like, you or your husband, he's not happy with you, you're not looking after yourself and eating enough. That person who's sitting receiving that information doesn't hear that. They actually just hear that emotion has just connected with them, and they hear that their husband is not happy with them, and so you put them into a spiral, more depression, more grief, more anguish. So it's very important, guys, that if it's not just about how accurate you get your mediumship or how accurate you can say something, it's actually about the delivery, the connection, the emotion, and understanding from a psychological point of view where that particular person is, and being able to gather the intelligent information from the other side and put it together in a concise manner, and be able to be clear in the delivery, and make sure that you're discerning the information that you're getting from the other side correctly, and that you're discerning the level of spirit connection, that you're not actually speaking to a false guide or something like that, So the reality is that there is no fast path to becoming a medium. It is a vocation that you will actually take up for the rest of your life. And you will be continually under development 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, whether you understand that or not. I had a person come to me recently who, as I said at the beginning, had said that they had been into a house that was haunted, and that because they could feel that presence that made them a medium. Well, no, there is many people, and even parapsychologists, that will go into potentially haunted places or places that have a history, and they will be able to pick up in the energy, and they'll be able to sense things, but it doesn't necessarily make them a natural communicant for the other side. Every single person in the world can use their intuition, and every single person can sense spirit energy, but it doesn't make them a medium. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no fast path to being a medium, or to developing your mediumship to such a strong level that you can just change your whole life about it, and just that's all that you do. So when you're thinking about it, how can I become a medium fast? There is no fast path, and if that's what you're looking for, then you shouldn't be looking to become a medium. You should be talking to other mediums and understanding the path that they're on, and understanding the sacrifices that have to be made. Sacrifices you will have to make, will change your life dramatically. There's no doubt about it. And mediums grieve as well. We lose loved ones and we grieve. A good friend of mine, Tracy, in Australia, who's a medium, she's gone through that place of grief. And other mediums that I know that have gone through grief, you're not protected from that emotion, but you're able to understand. You're able to understand people. You have to have some experience in life of loss and grief, and that doesn't necessarily, because there are mediums out there that haven't lost anyone yet. They haven't lost any mothers, fathers, daughters, or anything, but they may have lost pets, or they may have lost jobs, or they may have lost something. And there's an element, although a lower level of grief in that, there's there's an understanding there of how loss can affect you. So it's not just about the theory or reading a book or taking some practice lessons. There is no fast path, as I have said. It is a journey that you will take for the rest of your life. And if you're ready and willing to sacrifice a great amount of your life to it, and also to your, I mean, I've lost friends and family and things over it. It's changed things dramatically. But that is the sacrifice that you will make. So if you're willing to be of service to humanity and to spirit, and you're willing to take that sacrifice and that vocation on, then brilliant, absolutely fantastic. Then you should then look at, how can you develop with the right people, and how can you begin to develop on your own. There's a number of videos that I've done about living a clean life and all that kind of stuff that you can look at. And essentially, it's not all about how accurate you can really be is a medium. That gets everybody excited, but there are so many facets to mediumship. It's unbelievable, and there's different avenues of mediumship to look at as well. A good friend of mine, Kevin, who studies a great developing precipitation mediumship, and he's developing over a very, very long period of time to actually, to develop it to a high level, and he's willing to put that time in. My other friend, Leo, has been developing for 20 odd years and has been serving spirit. There's a lot of sacrifices that's there, and you need to learn from other mediums, and learn as much as you can. But the most important thing, beyond any theory and beyond anything else that you do, is to develop your own spiritual growth, understanding, and discernment. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you have a question about development, I am going to be doing a lot more videos on development. If you have a question about development and what it means to be a medium and how you can actually travel that path properly, then, connect with me on Instagram at Spiritual Medium. I speak with people very direct there. And also you can leave a comment under this video, or if you're listening on the podcast, you can go to my website, jo.my, and you can message me. And I'll do whatever I can to help and share knowledge and wisdom in any aspect of that. But I only do it with people that I feel are really there for service to humanity and to spirit, and not there just to look at another career. That's not what mediumship is about, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry if it has upset some of you, but there is no fast path to it, and that's all I'm going to say about it now. God bless, guys. I look forward to the next video next week.